All right, welcome to class, everybody. Today we're going to have a fun little review. Let's take a look at the map. I'm going to ask you, where are all the continents? You should know this just lickety-split, but if you don't, that's okay. You can remember them and learn them and re-review them, and this is what I was trying to spit out. Let's pretend I go too fast in this review. What can you do? Pause it. Hit rewind. You should be able, if you don't know the continents, I want you to watch this 35 times or however many times it takes until you know them. Ready? Here we go. On your marks. Get set. What do we got? Africa. Good. Next one. Asia. Okay. South America. North America. Australia. Europe. Perfect. Okay, good job. And what's the last one? Antarctica, not shown on the map. I'm sure you guys did a good job there, so you get a good job. Okay, let's go here. What are the dates of the Middle Ages? Hold on. Let's get you some music here. Dates of the Middle Ages. Okay, exactly 500 to 1500. Okay, and what does that correspond with? What events? The fall of Rome to the discovery of the New World. Fair enough? Okay? Sounds good? Let's go. The Ural Mountains, what do they do? What do they do? Exactly. They divide Europe from Asia. Okay? Sounds good? Okay. What country is that? Spain. All right, hold on. Very good. Very good. Can you point to France? Can you point to Germany? Do you know where they are instinctively? Let's go through it, okay? What country do we have next going up the coast? Boom, France, okay? Then what do we have? Big country going up north a little bit more, Germany, fantastic. And then where's England? There you go. Did you know all that? If you need to watch that again, you can, okay? What river is this? What river cuts through Germany right there? The Rhine River, okay, very good. And down in the south of France, you have the Rhone, okay, fantastic. Here's another picture of the Rhone, and here's a picture showing a bunch of different rivers, and you can see the Rhine and the Rhone, and there's a bunch of famous rivers in Europe, and I just picked those two. So make sure you know where those are, and there's nothing wrong if you want to know where the Danube or whatever, that's all good, okay. Who is this guy? Who is that guy? Okay, I'll give you a hint. He is crowned the Holy Roman Emperor. Here's his kingdom. Charlemagne, exactly. He's a Frankish king and he captures all this land in Europe, okay? Don't forget Voltaire says it was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. That's up to you. Charlemagne, very good. This guy. Duke of Normandy, William the Conqueror, Duke of Normandy, what battle does he goes from France, he goes over to England, he wins at this critical battle. Which battle is it? Battle of Hastings. Battle of Hastings. Very good. Let's look at the feudal system. Who's at the top? Hold on. Let's get you some... Feudal system for 100. Who's at the top? The kings and the queens. Who's below them? The nobles or the lords. Got you. What's below that? The knights. And then who's at the bottom? The peasants or the serfs. Okay, very good. This green arrow on the side, what does that represent? What are you getting every stage down the line on the green arrow? Land. Very good. And then what's the purple arrow? Some type of work, okay? So you're working the land, you're growing the crops. If you're a knight, you're not really a farmer. You're more protecting the land and protecting the serfs. Does that make sense? And then you might get called into going into the battle, okay? And so the kings and queens will assemble, call in the lords and call in the knights, and that's how you get the war system going. All right, very good. There's going to be a document that limits the power of the king. I call it the great-great-grandfather of the Constitution. What document are we looking at right here? All right, Magna Carta. Good job. Good job. What's this one? That's something from Sonic. Okay, cool. You got the bubonic plague. It's also known as what? The Black Death. Give me a date, roughly. What do you think for the date? Hold on. What, you don't know this one? You don't know this one? Come on now. All right. 1350. 1350.
Excellent.
Spread by rats, spread by the fleas. Now let's get into some of the bigger concepts that we're learning, okay? If you survive the plague, obviously that's good because you lived. But if you survive the plague and you're a serf, why will you benefit? Why will you benefit? Take a think on that. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't get that wrong. Here we go. You're going to have more work, but you're going to have fewer people to do the work. Therefore, when you have more work to do, okay, more demand and less supply of workers, the workers can ask for more money. They can say, hey, I don't want to be a slave anymore. I want to be free and I want to get paid money. And they can rise up. Does that make sense? So you started at the bottom, now you're here. Okay. Let's go. Europe at war. The tribes fight each other. Okay, this is what I wanted you to understand. You're never going to remember William the Conqueror and Charlemagne and Franks and Gauls and all these people fighting. That's okay. Understand this. Hundreds of years, tribes fight each other. Then the groups fight each other. Then those become countries and they fight each other. And they fight and they fight and they fight. And they really have not been unified until recently. I know like 1993 seems ancient history to you, but it's not. That's in my lifetime. And that's when the European Union comes together. Does that make sense? So if you remember nothing else, just remember that they're in turmoil and them coming together as one body, that's sort of a new thing. And so when you see Brexit, or which is England, Britain, trying to exit the European Union, that's sort of a natural spillover of the history. It's not, they haven't been together for that long. Does that make sense? Okay, so just remember, turmoil, that's good enough. Let's talk about feudal system and Magna Carta. Okay, here I want you to see, remember when we read about what it's like to be a teenager in the Middle Ages and how it wasn't that fun? Okay, it's a new thing. Even in America, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, you would have probably been working by now. Okay, definitely in the 1900s, you were working in these factories. Statistically speaking, that is. And it's new that you are given opportunity and given education, okay? Just like it's new that the masses of people get to vote and get to control their democracy, get to control their destiny, get to control their rulers to some degree, okay? This is the history of the kings losing the power and the people getting the power. And this struggle does not happen overnight. It happens over hundreds of years, and it takes a variety of twists and turns. Does that make sense? So that's the big picture here. So when you see Magna Carta, I'm never going to ask you to read the whole thing and memorize it. I don't care about none of that. What I care is that you see it takes, little baby steps, and then eventually we get to the Constitution. And you can even daydream, what will the next document be? What will the next wave of freedom be? Does that make sense? Okay, so freedom was a long time coming, and this is how we got here. And if you understand that, then I feel good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this review. If there was something you struggled on, make sure you go back and watch it again, and we'll have some new stuff for you soon, and I'll see you soon.